Welcome back to This Irae. I know, different camera angle. Great, right? No, I just thought this is somewhat safer to put my camera there because it was standing on my speakers, my external hard drive, and well, some kind of mess I have on my desk, so it wasn't really stable, and I have something to put it on here, so yeah, different camera angle, just so you know. Yeah, after having some trouble setting this all up, because I thought, great, I've got my dummy battery, let's try it out. Didn't work. I had to go back to the actual battery that came with this camera, and I'll have to look into getting a different dummy battery. But for the remainder of that time, I thought, why not record something finally again? And since I haven't recorded This Irae in a while, I thought, why not go back there? And we were still in the midst of a fight, as far as I remember, so yeah, let's get back into that. Oh yeah, I can do that. The illumination birthed by the clash of blade and thunderbolt made me stumble forward. Not only had I been so focused that I'd forgotten Shiro was planning something, I wasn't far-sighted enough to be able to adapt to suddenly losing my vision either. Achieving a composed and ever-serene mind was no easy feat. Until a short while ago, I'd been no more than an everyday student. There was no way I would have been able to keep my cool after being so abruptly robbed of my sight. A series of floor-shaking tremors and a burst of explosive fire put an end to my confusion. What was likely Sakurai's doing? Whatever she had done gave me a momentary flash of vision. I couldn't move an inch. That momentary hesitation brought a swift end to my perfectly timed plan. His lightning would fall upon and pierce me through, just as I yielded to Cain's overwhelming pressure, envisioning that hopelessly inevitable outcome. Gunfire rang out again, soon followed by the sound of a small-scale explosion. For some reason, Cain's presence vanished as a result, or rather, it felt more like the giant was bewildered and impatient, as if he had lost sight of my position. Maybe Sister Lisa couldn't see me right now? My suspicion turned to conviction a moment later. The lightning strike that should have hit and blown me away ended up passing right by me. I have no idea what happened. None of that mattered though. What did matter was that my opponent had just missed an attack that would have otherwise been fatal. Regardless of what brought it about, this was my chance. I would have been an idiot for not taking advantage of it. Sure, Ren. I sprung my arms forward and sped up my body's muscles in sync. I raised my blade with all my might as fast as I could and moved to slice the giant before me in two. My target was the head. That was the only way. I didn't know if you could kill a corpse twice, but I baselessly believed that this decapitating blade Marie dwelt in could kill any target regardless of what the rules of logic dictated. It was likely that belief that was acting as the driving force behind manifesting my Ahnenerbe's power to its peak. As long as I believed that, this guillotine could cut down whatever stood in its path, be it human or monster. Cain turned around. I couldn't tell if it was a random attack or if this dead freak possessed the base ability to intercept my bites by himself, but either way, I was faster. I jumped up as if to land on the swinging lump of iron, then launched an attack on the giant's completely defenseless and exposed neck. What? But something completely unbelievable happened a moment later. Cain headbutted the blade, swinging down towards his neck. I didn't know how strong the bastard's mask, that is Sister Lisa's Ahnenerbe, was, but my blade's swing went way off mark from that superhuman counterattack. As a result, I missed and ended up cutting from Cain's left shoulder blade to his right lung. That'd be fatal. That'd be a fatal wound for sure to a normal opponent, but it didn't look like it had much of an effect on the freak. In other words, it was a misfire. My all-or-nothing attack had been completely wasted. Yet it wasn't bitterness or regret I felt, but something entirely different. Else entirely. Well... Did this thing just move on his own? Yeah, well, it wouldn't seem that way. So that means, although he is dead and under Sister Lisa's control, he has a mind of his own? Or is it just basic instinct? We will probably figure out, hopefully. Please. That last counterattack was on a different level altogether. He deliberately attacked to offset the slash heading right for him, and he actually used his mask to deflect it. A mere puppet couldn't have pulled that off. What in the world was this thing? Tubal Cain, you casually turned around with no heed to the diagonal wound in his body. Not even a drop of blood poured from the wound, and he clearly didn't feel any pain. So he had the body of a corpse no matter how you spun it. Despite that, he moved precisely even when he was cut off from Sister Lisa's proper command. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes? The corpse then remained silent up until then began to speak. It was a dark, gear-like cracking that lacked any meaning, more reminiscent of the rumble of a motor than a genuine human voice. However, that eerie enumeration of sound, hardly even worthy to be called a voice, made my entire body freeze up. I wanted him to stop. I didn't want to hear another syllable uttered by that voice. The dead giant's voice alone was enough to instill a sort of madness in the living. Where? Why did you have to put that effect on the voice? His howl, loud as a roaring thunder, completely blew my fighting spirit into smithereens. Sure. Lisa quietly clicked her tongue when she heard Cain's war cry. It appeared that his true nature, one that she'd wanted to keep hidden, was coming dangerously close to being revealed. That was dangerous, not just because it would make him harder to control. Lisa could not afford letting anyone learn that Cain possessed a side like that to him. And if worse came to worst, the divine vessel or Samiel ever found out, they'd likely demolish everything. Same thing went for that girl, though in a different way. She cut through the smoke screen of foam and chased after the girl a second behind. She couldn't have been allowed to see that. If she did, then she'd surely... But it was too late. Kay was already watching. She stood frozen and dumbfounded, muttering to herself like her mind was somewhere else. This can't be. Anger welled up within Kay a moment later. It seemed she was more fixated on Cain's wound than his maddened roar. Though Lisa hesitated to call it a silver lining, she had nothing to worry about if that was the thing that had Kay bothered. Cain wouldn't break that easily. She was about to say that, but for some reason she couldn't. He was a dead puppet. Even if his arms were chopped off, his legs vanished, or his chest was filled with holes, that monster was a lump of flesh that could keep moving as long as she, the controller, remained in good health. As such, there was nothing to worry about. That wound could barely even be called a cut. Lisa attempted to say all that, even parted her lips a few times, but ultimately she couldn't. Inevitably, she could do nothing to stop that impending instrument of destruction. Cain swung down his lump of iron with all his might, unleashing a burst of deadly lightning rivaling that of Indra himself, eclipsing all of his prior attacks in terms of ferocity. His strike was powerful enough to blow away everyone still alive in this place. Not only Ren, Shiro and Ellie, but even Kai and Lisa as well. The flash of lightning burned into my eyes, blinding me. The scope of Cain's raging lightning strike dwarfed all others that came before. Even I would have been torn to shreds had I taken a direct hit from it. I knew that all too well, yet in spite of that I couldn't bring myself to move an inch. Rather than being frozen by the sheer magnitude of that unparalleled destructive power, it was more like I was cursed by this freak's existence itself. I'd be seeing pearly gates in my near future if this kept up. What is Kay doing here? For some reason, Sakurai cut in between us. That was what saved me. The floor shook with a tremendous sound, splitting apart along with the walls, while I found myself blown back a dozen or so meters. As the echoes of destruction continued to roar, I saw something fall to my feet. Yes. It was Sakurai. Needless to say, she was all battered and wounded from Cain's attack. Even she would have been blown to bits had she been taking a direct hit. Nonetheless, she seemed to have evaded that outcome by a hair's breadth, stopping the blow a split second before it could have dealt a fatal wound. She still suffered severe injuries, but alive, was seemingly spared. More importantly, though, why did you? I highly doubted she was attempting to save me, in which case, could she have been trying to rein in the berserk Cain? That last attack unleashed all his power, from what I could tell. Releasing that volume of destructive force must have taken quite a toll on him. There was also the wound I inflicted on him to consider. In that state, it would have been hardly surprising to see his body crumble apart from the power of his own lightning. When I thought of it that way, Sakurai's actions became more comprehensible. But why would someone like her, who had always been so cool-headed when dealing with Wilhelm Rosaka, risk life to that extent? And for that monster's sake, no less. What's going on? What just happened? Okay, all those thoughts were abruptly drowned out by the intense pain flaring up in my neck. The air grew heavy and stagnant as an indescribable kind of unease filled the room. What was that?
どうやら3つ目のスバスチカが開いたようね。
Huh? Already? How far did that strike reach to kill that many people? What? I could vaguely make out Sister Lisa across the dust shrouding the room. Right next to her stood Cain, having returned to being a speechless statue. The opening of the swastika meant that many had died. That last attack as well as the battle up to that point must have passed the necessary death quota.
安心しなさい。今夜はもう帰るから。
Thanks. Rest easy. We're leaving for the night.
それで藤井君、こんなことを頼める義理でもないのだけど。
And I know I have no right to be asking this of you, Fuji, but though I was gritting my teeth in rage and bitterness, Sister Lisa ignored it all. There was a twinge of pain in her voice. Perhaps she, too, had been wounded.
レオンを、その子のことをよろしくお願い。難しい性格だけど、根は悪い子でもないはずだから。
Take care of Leon. She's difficult to deal with, but deep down, she isn't a bad girl.
待て!
Wait.
じゃあ、さようなら。心配しなくても、私たちはもうあなたの前に現れないわ。
Farewell
これ
then.
で仕事は
Alright.
終わったのよ。
Your job is done. Sure. Farewell then. Don't worry, you'll never see me again. This was the end of my job.
Sister!
Sister? Lisa? Bye? I screamed and stretched my hand out, but I couldn't reach her. My legs and hips, still suffering the after effects of the lightning, couldn't let me stand. I wanted her to stay, to not leave. I was begging her. She and Himuro were...
ごめんなさい。でも、許してなんて言えないわね。
I'm sorry, but I won't ask for forgiveness.
願わくわ。あなたも生きて。死なないで。
Alright, I'll try. Thank you, Lisa. I hope you live. Don't die. Sure. Very likely. A jet black curtain blanketed my vision at that moment. The black cloth attached to Cain's mask spread out, covering the whole floor, drowning everything out.
Oh.
A moment later, my sight returned, revealing that Sister Lisa and Cain were nowhere to be found. In addition, all the splattered blood, chunks of meat and mountains of corpses had vanished without a trace. Well, they were sucked in again, I guess. It was just that night. The way Rosalka erased the mutilated body without a trace the night I met her, Wilhelm and Sakurai. In other words...
食ったか来る時も帰る時も派手だなおい
She devoured them. Man, she sure knows how to enter and exit with style, huh?
白
Yep, that is my question as well. He lived through that explosion.
でもまあ、とりあえずこの場は命拾ったね。正直しょっぱなからデタラメなの来すぎっつうか。どうなのさ、これ。
Still, at least we're in one piece for now. Honestly, this night was a mess. I mean, what the hell was all that? Honjo, she survived as well.
で、立てるかレン見るからにひでえけど死んじまうほどでもねえんだろ
So, can you stand, Ren? You look like shit, but you ain't dead, right? I couldn't stand right now, but my injuries weren't life-threatening. I didn't know how all these two got away, but other than being covered in dust from head to toe, they didn't seem to be wounded. How? Why? What the fuck? But then I remembered something.
シロお前ら
Shit, you bastard.
なんだよ
Huh? What's your problem?
涼しい顔して笑ってんじゃねえよお前がいきなり照明なんか消したおかげでこっちは危うく死にかけたぞ
Don't grin like nothing's wrong. You nearly got me killed with that whole turning off the light stunt.
ああ、それやったの私。
Oh, I did that.
ちなみに俺の発案な
By the way, it was my plan. Yeah, sure.
だからそういうことじゃなくてだな
Thank you, Ren. That is definitely not the issue here. I was absolutely about to tell him that he should have given me a heads up or show a bit more concern, but I stopped myself. Anything I told him would have gone in one ear and out the other anyway.
ま、生きてたんだからいいじゃんよ。
Well, you're alive, so that's all that matters. Thanks for your concern, Shiro.
ああ、おかげさまでな。
Yeah, no thanks to you. I leaned against the wall and somehow managed to stand up as anger welled within me. The crowds of people here just a while ago were all gone, leaving no one but me and these guys. Some probably got away, but everyone who saw what happened had been wiped out. I couldn't help but feel bitter at that.
俺がここにいたからとかつまんないこと考えちゃダメよ。
Hey, you better not be thinking that it's your fault this happened. Well, it kinda is.
あちらさんはこの場所に用があったわけだから、あたしらやレン君がいようがいまいがこうなっちゃってたわけなのよ。
They had specific business with this place. They would have come whether the three of us were here or not.
ま、後悔しても仕方ねえしな。
Well, regrets won't bring back the dead. True. True, but you can still mourn the dead, right? Especially since we just had celebrated Halloween a few days ago. The day when supposedly the connection to the world of the living and the world of the dead is the strongest? I don't know. Something like that.
ほんとよく言うよね、あんたって。
I agree, Ellie. You really are a heartless bastard. And my father is still unable to cook without burning something. If you can hear the alarm. Shiro and Honjo said that as if they could tell what I'd been feeling. They might have been right, but I couldn't just simply write off the whole thing.
とにかくこういう時は悪者の退治に意識を向けるのが前向きな姿勢ってやつでしょ。そういうわけで一つ問題。
Anyway, it's at times like this where you should think positive by focusing on defeating the bad guys, right? Which leads to a problem. Honjo pointed her finger and looked at me. I was hoping it was just my imagination, but it looked like I couldn't laugh this off.
これどうするよ。
What do we do about her? It went without saying that she was pointing at Sakurai, still unconscious on the floor. Yeah, well, I don't know. That was indeed a problem. A big problem, in fact. I felt like we'd been left with a rabid dog or something.
ぶっ殺せよ、レン。俺の仲間の敵だぜ。
Waste her rent. Get revenge for my boys.
とバカは言ってるわけだけど。
Well, there's the idiot's opinion on that matter.
真面目な話。連中がどうやら死ぬのかってことに興味がある。
I'm serious. I'm curious about what it takes for these guys to die.
おい。
Whoa there. I instinctively rebutted that turbulent statement, but I could see where Shiro was coming from. I had to keep fighting those monsters from now on. I had Marie as a means to do that, but these two had no way of beating them. However...
人体実験でもしようってのかよ。趣味悪いぞ、お前。
You're saying you're gonna perform experiments on her? You've got a twisted mind, man. What did you expect of Shiro? It's Shiro, after all. Alright. I didn't want to do or see the kind of stuff Rosaka got off to. Shiro let out an exasperated snicker as he saw my reaction.
まあな、お前はそう言うだろうな。傷んでるやつに甘いっつうか、フェアプレー精神の人だから。
Well, I figured you'd say that. You're being too soft on these nutcases, but I guess you always have been into that fair play shit. Fair play? No? Fair play. I'm trying to remember the beginning of this game, but he was always a nihilist, so he was more like, meh, I will not bother with anything but myself. But sure, fair play, if that's what you call it.
あんたの頭も相当傷んでる領域だと思うけど。
I think you're pretty nuts yourself, though.
お前そりゃそのなんつうかどうなんだよ。
Well, that's, you really think so?
どんなもこんなもあるかよ。
Of course I fucking do. These guys were idiots. They seriously went back to their normal selves right after the bloodshed ended. Anyway, trying to go along with them was a waste of time. I had to think about how to deal with this situation.
とりあえずここで桜井を確保できたのは運がいいとそう思う。
Well, anyway, we were lucky to have been able to secure Sakurai, that's what I think. Called it naive, but killing someone wounded and defenseless was too low for me, and seeing how I couldn't bring myself to do that, I had only one option available. After all, there was still much we didn't know.
捕まえて捕虜にしよう。こいつには聞きたいこともあるし。
Ren, why do you want to keep her prisoner? You do know that he's stronger than you, and probably cannot be kept in a normal prison since he can break out of it really easily. But hey, let's capture and keep her prisoner. There's stuff I'd like to ask her. Sure. I agree with this last part, but I don't think you will be able to. But we'll get to that, I guess.
へえ。
Oh. Well, well.
なんだよ。
What is it? What was up with those mocking looks they were giving
お
me?
前さこいつのおかげで命拾いしたから交換とか持っちゃってるわけ？
You're certain to grow attached to her because she saved your ass back there?
そんなわけないだろ。むしろ苦手だこいつのことは。
Hell no, if anything, we're like a cat and a dog.
それはまた微妙な評価を。
That's a peculiar way to put it. I really wished she'd just shut up and leave me alone.
誤解がないように言っとくけど俺はこいつと仲良くなんかないからな。最初っからどうも馬が合わないんだよ桜井とは。
Look, I'm just saying this so there's no misunderstandings, but we don't get along at all. We haven't hit it off once from the very start. Which was exactly why I couldn't deal with her. She didn't seem like the type I could get along with. I knew those words were illogical and not much of an explanation, but that was what I said. Shiro waved his hand as if to say, yeah, I get it.
まあお前が得意な相手なんてバカスミくらいしかいねえしな。
Don't remind me that I'm on her path, please. Well, people like Twitsumi are more of your specialty, yeah?
オーケー。俺は別に構わんよ。シャレでからかっただけだ。そう怒んな。
Anyway, sure, I don't mind. I was just messing with you, so don't get your panties in a bunch.
てなわけで、おいエリー。
That's it. Hey, Ellie.
ああ、はいはい。わかってるよ。
Yeah. I got it. Honjo gave a sluggish reply before sitting next to Sakurai. Personality aside, she was still the daughter of doctors and probably had at least basic knowledge in first aid treatment. In my opinion, everybody should have basic knowledge in first aid treatment. It is important to know what to do in a situation where someone's life might be in danger. But hey, that is just my personal opinion. And seeing how in this day and age everybody first thinks about, well, getting a good angle for shooting someone lying on the floor unconscious, yeah, I think it is even more important that they see and know what to do when being confronted with something like that. But yeah, just my opinion. I hope you do know the basic things in first aid treatment. If you don't know, don't bother watching this video. No, but you should really consider learning something like that. It's not really hard. It is boring sitting through these, well, at least in Germany, 8 hours. Yeah, 8 hours where you have to well, where you'll be reminded that there are people that do not know stuff, even though they learned it before, and are way older than you. And people being lazy. I had a refresh course on first aid a couple months ago, and I was like the only person that remembered something from her first aid course, and it was like, what is going on here? Every time there was a question that nobody knew an answer to, it was like, well, can you give us the answer? And I was like, yes, sure, I can give you the answer, but shouldn't you ask the others? Well, they do not seem to want to participate in this. So yeah, it was basically one-on-one, and I felt out of place quite a bit, but yeah, at least I know for sure that I know what to do in an emergency situation. Kinda, sorta. Let's get back into this. I'm counting on you, thanks. Yep. But the lights in the hall went out just as I said that, wrapping the place in darkness. Ooh. A lighter? After a beat, Shiro lit up the surroundings with the flame of his lighter. Now, don't...
停電かよ。
That is one hell of a lighter. Well, what you know? A blackout.
さっきの戦闘で電気系統のどっかが行かれたのかも。
And they only react now. That's highly unlikely. Maybe the power lines got fucked up by the battle.
おい、大丈夫なのか?
Hey, you sure? 大丈夫なのか? It's like, will it be okay? Not, you sure this place won't fall on our heads?
まあ大丈夫だと思うけど、詳しいことは調べてみないとわかんないね。
Well, it shouldn't, I think. I won't know till I get a good look at the whole thing.
そんなことより、とりあえずこの子の治療をする方が優先だと思うけど。
Anyway, I think treating this girl takes priority for now. That I have to agree on with you. She was right. There was no way to treat Sakurai properly in complete darkness.
じゃ、まずは場所を変えよっか。あんたたち、この子を運びな。
No. Well, thanks, Ellie. Thanks for your help. Okay then, let's go somewhere else first. You guys carry her. Shiro and I followed Honjo's orders and carried Sakurai to a VIP room. And this is where I'll end this part. We might get some answers, finally. Or not, probably. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And don't mind this new angle too much. Alright, hello, I am planning a giveaway, and for this giveaway you can choose a game out of these games here: City Skylines, After Dark, and the After Dark DLC, Metal Gear Solid 5. These come in a bundle. Of Ground Zero, the Definitive Experience, whatever, and the Phantom Pain, the main game. The Dwarfs, Hard Reset Redux, Saints Row 4, Game of the Century Edition, Sniper Elite version 2, and American Truck Driver, as well as Star Trek Online Humble Trekkie Bundle. I've got that 3 times, so you can get that if you want to. You just have to leave a comment why you should get this game, and by you would be perfect, I don't know, for owning this game, and what you like about it. For the best comment, I might give away this fan game coupon as well. It is only redeemable until the 11th of November, so only 7 days left from the day of this recording. Yeah, act fast so you get your game, the game you want, and yes, I hope you find something you like and can add it to your Steam library. Alright, see you, bye.